Good evening. We will start the Monday, November 12th, 2018 Board of Education meeting. We'll start with a moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing on our agenda is I'm asking for a change to the agenda, and we are going to move our item number 5, action items, up to between 2 and 3 before our recognition of persons wishing to address the board to accommodate a schedule.
So moved.
So move, support? Support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved. Thank you. Items of interest, recognition and inquiry. Board of Education members?
Just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Can't believe it's week after next.
Mm-hmm.
Next week. Week from
Next week.
Next week.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Better start looking for that turkey.
I just want to wish the Mariners the best of luck on Saturday as they go up against Portland, as I want to wish congratulations to all of the teams at St. Clair and Marine City that have been real successful this past year. And again, thanks to all of our employees, our coaches, our staff for doing such a wonderful job. So
I think that deserves a
Yeah.
Anybody else? Mrs. Sabu?
Well, those were my 2 items, so I'll just reiterate the congratulations to both Marine City and St. Clair football teams, and it does take an army to get those fields and teams ready, and I appreciate everyone who was a part of that, and it was a lot of fun. And again, congratulations to St. Clair on an awesome season, and good luck to Marine City this Saturday. Also wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving next Thursday.
Thank you. It's coming too fast, way too fast.
Our item number 5. This is an action item. It's a recommended action that per administration recommendation, the board approves the transfer of option purchase agreement for the property at 222 North 9th Street and 301 North 6th Street, St. Clair, presented at the October 22nd, 2018 meeting. Motion is needed.
So moved.
Move.
Support.
Support. Comments or questions? We had a good discussion
Yep.
last meeting. I think Kirk did a great job where we were. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So carried. Item number 3, recognition of persons wishing to address the board. No little green cards tonight? Where's our cheerleader? All right, we'll move on. Information discussion items. Board steering committee presentation.
I'm going to move over to the
Okay.
podium.
Oh.
Good evening, President Beaver, members of the board. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce to you the 4 bond steering committee members that will be bond steering committee. I want to thank all of the bond steering committee members that are here this evening. There's many of you in attendance. This is a culmination of many months, even years of hard work, starting back with our strategic planning committees and through the bond steering committee work that has been happening over the past couple months. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to make the recommendation to the school board from the bond steering committee through 4 members of the
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
Board of Education. And my name is Rachel Card. I'm the principal at Pine River Elementary and also a parent in the district. Thank you for inviting the Bond Steering Committee to share our bond program recommendation. 4 of us are presenting tonight, but this proposal represents a collective voice of passionate and dedicated and hardworking people who are really looking for the best interests of all of our students in the East China School District. We were charged with bringing the best model for student success while bringing the district operationally in line where it needs to be. Operating as a 10-building district is not sustainable with our declining and continuing declining enrollment per state standards. These are members of the Bond Steering Committee. It's a nice collection of parents, business owners, community members, educators, and East China staff. The process was basically divided into 3 parts: discovery, exploration, and recommendation. We started meeting in August and continued until October when community engagement sessions began, and we completed our meetings in November, leading up to this evening. Our discovery phase really began last January when a committee started to meet to learn about the state of the district. Some of the Bond Steering Committee members were part of that committee. Discovery basically covered these aspects: district vision and goals, facilities assessment, program assessment, and modern learning. A major effort by our professional team included a detailed facilities assessment outlining all of the infrastructural deficiencies in our buildings. Over $100 million of needs were identified through this process over the next 10 years. An enrollment projection study was shared with us showing the 5 and 10-year forecasts for students in our district. Based on those numbers, it is projected that 275 students per grade is an appropriate number to move forward for planning purposes. The professional team discussed benchmarks regarding the numbers of buildings serving a district based on student enrollment, and it was obvious that our 10 buildings were on the very high side compared to other similar sized districts who are housing the same or more students in just 5 or 6 buildings. A modern learning environment presentation was given to highlight current trends in curriculum and educational design. The technical team also shared numerous research articles to further extend our knowledge and understanding of how students learn best today and what our facilities should look like in order to support current day learning. Some of the themes involved flexible and collaborative furniture, spaces for STEAM and interdisciplinary activities, and technology integrated seamlessly. An in-depth assessment of our programs and how our buildings were supporting our curriculum vision were done again to see where our buildings were deficient. An objective matrix was used to capture that picture. Each building was graded based on their educational facility index, both for infrastructure condition and function. And the top facilities were St. Clair Middle School, Bell River Elementary School, Pine River Elementary School, Palms Elementary School, and Marine City Middle School. Understanding financing options was another area of discovery. We looked at various bond program scenarios along with the millage rates associated with them and their impact on taxpayers in the East China School District. This is our existing district structure in terms of our facilities that house students. In our current configuration, we have a utilization rate of 64%. The goal is to increase that to 80% as recommended by the state. The committee analyzed and discussed various structures, and the one that felt most achievable and correct in terms of meeting the district vision and operational objectives included 6 remaining structures. And this was our preferred district structure with a consolidated high school, a consolidated middle school located near the PAC and stadium, 3 elementary schools, and a centralized early childhood center. We participated in an exercise to prioritize the objectives or guiding principles for the future bond program. The top principles based on our discussions are shown in this slide. And now I'm going to introduce Lisa Glasgow, the Administrative Secretary at Palms. She's going to talk about the exploration and community engagement phases of the process.
Good evening. And next, we are on to exploration. Placing the preferred structure on the district boundaries and existing facilities, the professional team looked at this model in terms of achieving a 6-building district. Concepts explored to house the elementary population and early childhood program. Several concepts were explored with regard to placing the middle school and high school on the Meisner site. 7 different concepts were explored in detail, with concept G becoming the most popular. My papers are sticking together up here. The committee was involved in literally building our own program and understanding that all of the identified needs could not be met with one bond program. These images depict some of the committee work, lots of listening, collaborating, consensus building, and ultimately decision-making. But we didn't just rely on our own voices and discussions. We listened to the outcome of members of our community, and 2 community engagement sessions were held in October. When we asked the community for one word that described how they would like the image of our district to be in the future, these are the words that they used to best describe that. Certainly, when I reflect on recommendation, I am thinking of high-performing, safe, integrated technology, opportunities. All these come to mind. And as you can see, there's a wide variety of words up there that were brought up. Participants engaged in the exercise to prioritize the same set of guiding principles presented to the BSC, and this shows the final numbers. The top 6 were basically the top 6 prioritized by the building committee, the bond committee. The only difference that was on the community, less than the programming for themselves, are the community members and more on the students. So they were pretty close with the committee and the community with the words that we all came up with. The feedback received at these sessions were very helpful to the committee. At both sessions, the participants engaged in a financial tolerance exercise, and we're very pleased to see such support for our schools and the desire to continue to invest in our district. Each participant was asked to share their comfort level in terms of a future bond program. This was done confidentially. The community engagement sessions concluded with table discussions, which were done in a more detail at each table. Now, we gathered some very valuable information during these sessions that were actually focused and looked upon at our original direction on the recommendations. Although a 6th meeting was not planned for the BSC, a final meeting was necessary to iron out some details of our recommendation. Now I would like to introduce Sherry Becker, Marine City High School principal and a parent in our East China School District.
Good evening. On behalf of the entire Bond Development Committee, I'd like to now share with you the features and details of our bond program recommendation. To say we are excited about this possibility is an understatement. With over 400 hours of time invested by committee members, countless hours by our technical resource team members, 6 bond steering committee meetings, 2 community engagement sessions, and development and analysis of various ideas, concepts, and estimates, we are very confident and enthusiastic by this final bond program recommendation. We feel that this process really brought to light the needs of our school district staff and students, and also brought the desires of our community to light, that being a desire to support its schools and its future.
The final recommended structure is shown in this chart. With this restructuring, keep in mind that every student, every teacher, and every building will benefit. New facilities of high school consolidation and middle school consolidation on the Meisner site are recommended, along with 4 elementary schools, 4 previously from our 3. That developed when we had community meetings and input from staff and community members that they would like to see kindergarten stay within the elementary schools. So what we're proposing is keeping 4 elementary schools with K through 5 and the Early Childhood Center as an addition at the Pine River site. To begin, these are the overarching features of recommendation, and then I'll get into the projects recommended at each of the schools. Key features would highlight the district reduces buildings from 10 to 6. We would have a consolidated high school and consolidated middle school on the Meisner site campus. St. Clair Middle School would become an elementary building, K through 5. We'd have Palms, Pine River, and Bell River would receive upgrades and remain a K through 5 elementary building. We'd have a dedicated early childhood center built as an addition at the Pine River site. And Gehring and Eddy elementary buildings would be offline and demolished. What you're looking at is Palms Elementary School, and I'm just going to highlight some of the featured work that would be conducted. Safe and secure entry with a welcome center addition and renovation. The renovation of existing building would include ceiling and flooring. Improved spaces for kindergarten students, the larger space with restrooms, etc. added. The new fire protection for the entire school. The HVAC and electrical updates. Technology upgrades. Flexible and collaborative furniture. Repave all the lots, and concrete sidewalk replacement. Bell River would become the new Marine City Elementary School, with the features being safe and secure entry, a welcome center addition and renovation. Renovation of the existing building would include replacing ceiling and flooring, the new fire protection for entire school, the HVAC and electrical updates, technology upgrades, flexible and collaborative furniture, improved location for coat and boot storage for all students, age-appropriate playground areas, repave all the lots, and concrete sidewalk replacement. You're now looking at the Pine River Elementary, which would include the Early Childhood Center as well, which is featured in the red area. Also, we'd have safe and secure entryways, a welcome center addition and renovation, toilet rooms added in the classrooms, new fire protection system in entire building, the updated HVAC and electrical, technology upgrades, flexible and collaborative furniture. We'd rework the site for the Early Childhood Center and the new Early Childhood Playground. This is what is currently St. Clair Middle, which would become the St. Clair Elementary School, with a new canopy to identify the entrance, safe and secure entryway, updated HVAC and electrical, technology upgrades, a pod design that allows good segregation of the grade levels, improved area for kindergarten students with space, restrooms, etc., flexible and collaborative furniture, transport the site from middle school to elementary, addressing the vehicular, bus, and parent drop-off sites, new playground equipment, and repave all the parking lots. This is the upper level of what would be the elementary school, which would house the upper level 4 or 5 kids. This would be a new build, a new site at Meisner, which would include the consolidated high school and consolidated middle school. We'd have a safe and secure entryway, a centralized welcome center, including district administrative offices, a centralized knowledge center at the upper level, counseling center, 2-story middle school learning studio wing, a 2-story high school learning studio wing, 1-story Riverview East High School wing with dedicated safe and secure entrance, dining hall and social commons, outdoor learning courtyard celebrating district heritage, a collaborative learning commons and media center, innovative station housing hands-on project-based learning activities with access to outdoor learning courtyard, an aquatic center, field house with competition basketball court and 2nd-story indoor running track, auxiliary gymnasium, new stadium accessible locker rooms and public restrooms, a zone for after-hour activities and community access, a canopied connection to existing performing arts center, segregated bus, auto, and pedestrian traffic routes, and an outdoor athletic field which would include 2 competitive baseball fields, 2 competitive softball fields, 8 tennis courts, 2 natural turf multi-purpose practice fields, 1 practice baseball field, and 1 practice softball field. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dan Trudeau, who's a parent of the district, who's going to talk about the bond program financials.
Thank you, Sherry. It's a privilege to go over what's on a lot of people's minds when it comes to this whole proposal, which is the bond program financials. First off, you can see here broken down for the individual costs per school, how we come to the $148 million. That's the total bond program estimate. So that's the big picture view of the whole thing, and then we can break it down a little bit more here. Now, this is, you can see on this is our debt millage compared to other school districts in the area. You can see that's where we'd be. The first one is where we'd be with the new bond, where we are right now, and then compared to all the other school districts. You'll see, by the way, there's the blue section and the red section. The red section on the top is the current millage for a sinking fund. The interesting thing about this is, before we got into all of this, I didn't realize where we were at compared to the other communities in terms of our millage amount. You can see, even with the new millage, we're still pretty much in the middle of the region in terms of where we're at, and compared to places like Marysville and Anchor Bay, we're frankly getting a lot for our millage money. And again, there's some timing that helps us with this as well, which we'll be getting into in a slide coming up. Because the next slide is probably what's on a lot of people's minds. What does this mean for me personally? If this bond goes through, what does it cost me in terms of extra taxes, etc.? And this, I think, is a very good breakdown. This is the monthly cost to community residents based on house value. So as you can see, $100,000, if you have a $100,000 house, it costs you $7.29 a month beyond what we have now. $150,000 house, just around $11. And for a $200,000 house, about $15 per month more than right now. And again, this is, of course, when people are looking at their family budgets and everything like that, like I said, the number on everybody's mind. So I had mentioned before the timing of this, because this is our bond millage projection going forward should this go through. Now, the reason why our timing is good here, because you'll notice for 2018, we've got in green the existing millage. Well, it's fantastic timing because next year 1 mil falls off, absorbing a significant chunk of the cost of this project. And really, the timing of that saves all of us quite a bit of money going forward. We couldn't have timed that better if we tried. So you can see right there going forward where we're at right now, where it's going to be, and what happens to it over the next 30 years. Finally, I think this gives a really good overview, period, in terms of where we're at, how we got to where we're at, how we put this together, and what we need to go into the future. As mentioned, consolidation is very much a must-have. Per state standards, we really want to put together the best thing possible. And you notice on this thing here, it says, "Together we can." It's a very nice logo. It's logo. It's also very representative of how this all came together, because this did not get handed down by a couple people in the district or anything like that. It went through the steering committee, or the bond committee, I should say, that had a makeup from people all over the place. We had the community meetings. This really was a community effort, even just to get it to this point. Because really, it's about the benefit to the entire committee. I mean, the benefit to parents, students, that's all pretty clear from everything you've seen, especially if you've gone into the details. But the benefit of this is really for the entire community. A thriving community and thriving schools go hand to hand. You really can't have one without the other. And what this bond will allow us to do is adapt going into the future for a thriving school district, which will be part of a thriving community. So with that, I guess, are there any questions for us?
I want to say thank you for all your hard work. I know it's been a long 3 months, and I appreciate all the input. I do have just one small question, if I may. And I don't know if you can answer it, Dan. We mentioned something about upgrading playgrounds, but I didn't notice anything included in Palms and Bell River as far as playgrounds. Can anybody answer that? It's okay if you can't, that's fine. I just want to make sure that if they're supposed to get upgraded along with the others.
John, were they part of it?
It's in the cost, but it wasn't articulated as one of the features.
Okay, so yes, it's in the cost.
Okay.
Yep.
I just happened to catch that, so, okay. And Dan, I also agree with you that the timing couldn't be any better. Because, I mean, if we're gonna go for 1.75, actually, it's really gonna, I mean, I know it's now gonna stay the same for another 30 years rather than that 1 mil dropping off. But I don't think the increase is gonna be as much with that, supposedly that 1 mil having drop off.
Yeah, we couldn't have timed it better
No.
if we'd planned it, yeah.
Well, thanks for all your hard work again.
I had a question about so the last thing that came about was putting the Early Childhood Center together with Pine River. How many students, I think it was up there, but I missed it. How many students would be in that building? 160 was just the early childhood. And then how many K? For K-5, so 560 total.
I do have another question. Would CO be torn down as well?
Yes.
Okay, was that anywhere?
It's in here.
It is? Okay, okay.
Just to piggyback on Todd's question about the early childhood in K-5, or in K, I know that the Early Childhood Center is important because I believe we lose some students to southern districts. Because of that, could you give us a ballpark on how many that might be?
It's about 91 students.
About 91 students?
Mhm. Any others?
My questions that I sent to you were directed at them. Can I go ahead and ask them now, or should I wait till they come up?
You can ask them now, sure.
Okay.
If we don't have the answers, we'll be researching them for you.
Okay, I've been asked by other community members, the amount of students the day that we open the doors to this building should be estimated at what? How many students will be in this building at the high school, middle school, Riverview?
Just that part?
Yeah.
Campus?
That campus.
About close to 1,900.
Close to 1,900, and
It's 1,100 plus 825, so yeah, 1,925 to be exact.
and what will be the total amount of students we could have in there at any given time? Is there room to grow?
There's room to grow. Those capacities were based on 25 25 students per teaching station at an 85% utilization rate. You can increase the utilization, or you can increase a little bit of the class size, and that gives you the flexibility built in without adding any.
One moment, could you please
any more
repeat
space.
that to the television? On the microphone.
Do you want me to go up here? Okay, the question was, how many students at the new high school, middle school, Riverview? And right now, the capacity is listed at 1925 for that grade level. The other question was, how much extra capacity do we have built into those numbers? Those numbers are based on 25 students per teaching station, which is a fairly conservative way of coming up with capacity. You could do 26 or 27 students per teaching station, and that automatically would raise the capacity of the school without adding any more space. It's also based on a utilization factor of 85%, which means that at any time of the day, 15% of the teaching stations are not overly utilized. So you have that built into the equation as well. So there's built-in flexibility before you would need to add any more instructional space to the school. So if we're at about 1925 right now, I'm going to just estimate, and we'll verify these numbers. We'll probably could accommodate 21 to 2,200 students without adding any more space. After that, it becomes a factor of dining room and having enough physical space to be able to accommodate the different grade levels.
Okay, great, thank you.
Is that?
Yep.
I have a question for you. I just want, I guess it's
Yeah.
more of a clarification. When we build these schools, the state, though, doesn't allow us to
Overbuild. They do
overbuild.
not. But
Okay.
but the statistics that I gave you at 25 students per teaching station at an 85% utilization rate is what the state would look at.
Okay,
So we're being, we're in line with what the State Department of Treasury requirements would be, but it does give you flexibility to be able to accommodate more students within that
Sure.
square footage.
sure. Okay, thanks.
All right? Anything else before I sit back down?
We'll wait till you sit.
Probably.
I think it's Danielle's turn.
Any further questions?
Any other questions from anybody? Thank you so much for everyone being here, supporting what you've spent your time doing. And our community is blessed to have such people in it.
Thank you.
Anything that you want to cover, we're done?
Oh, I would like to take a moment to again thank the bond steering committee members, TMP and AUK, and everyone who has lended their expertise, time, and passion to making sure that the next steps we make for the district are the right ones. And like Sherry Becker said, we are also excited and thrilled to present this proposal for consideration, and thank you to the board for considering our proposal. And also thank you one last time to the community for coming to the community sessions. And if they weren't able to attend the community sessions, we had a lot of community members that contacted me through voicemail and email and conversations on the street. So thank you to everyone as we move forward.
Awesome. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.